how to be respected in friend groups. Have you recently entered this new friend group, right? Have you, put up a message on your group, on your WhatsApp group or Instagram group or whatever, and people were having a conversation and you said something and they just completely ignored your message like it was never even there. Has that ever happened to you? Because that has happened to me, bro, and it feels shit, man. It doesn't hurt, but it hurts to some extent, but it's more of shame. It's like, oh my god, bro, why am I even friends with these people, right? And the truth is that these people, right, they're not bad people. They're not that bad, right? They're normal people. I'm telling you that if you were in their position, you'd also ignore you. Let me tell you why, right? So the thing is that in any friend group, right, there's always dynamics. There's always a guy who's respected the most, a guy who's respected a little bit, a guy who's second most respected, and a guy who's respected the least, right? And this can go for any amount of friends, right? There's always a hierarchy in every friend group, no matter how much you try to hide it, there's always a hierarchy, right? And my understanding is that in the friend groups, which I love, right, which are for fun, I'm gonna be at the top of the hierarchy, right? When I'm not trying to like learn something extremely new every single day, right? Even though that's good, even though it's good to learn stuff, but unless it's like an extremely productive friend group, like it's only like a self improvement friend group, that's what I don't want to be the best because then there's nobody to learn from. But in like a friendly and a fun friend group, everyone wants to be the best because you get the most respect, you get the most hawk to us, right? So the first step is to not try to fit in. And I know that as soon as people hear this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's just like a pick me," or he's trying to be different. But the truth is, right, that if you try to fit in, like it's like I know it's very easy to say that don't try to fit in, but you need to be yourself, right? The truth is that if someone cracks a joke in your friend group and you genuinely don't find it funny, but you still laugh, you're gonna lose respect if you laugh at every single joke. Like I know you probably heard this, right? That don't laugh too hard at jokes and stuff as soon as you get into friend groups because it'll make you look like a very low person, right? A very easy person. And people say that for a reason, right? Because if you laugh at every single joke and you laugh harder than you're supposed to, right? It's gonna show that you're forced. And if you're forced, that means you're not a truthful person. That means you're not an honest person. That means you're not a real G. And if you're not a real G, you won't get respect because only real G's get respect. But like really, like why would you ever wanna try to fit in, right? Because if you try to fit in, and even if it works, even if you get a little bit of respect, down the line when you actually get comfortable with these people, you're never actually going to be able to be like 100% comfortable. Why? Because you've created this image in their head that you won't have the energy to reach normally. So that's the first step. Don't try to fit in, right? And guess what, like the second step is, like just try to guess what the second step is, bro. Okay, the second step is to be honest, right? And you could say, okay, but you just said that, right? You just said that don't try to fit in. So I guess it comes with don't be honest, right? False. It doesn't. You know, for a lot of people, don't try to fit in isn't actually, not laughing at jokes. For a lot of people, it's don't wear like a certain clothing, right? For a lot of people, they, a lot of people like wear baggy clothes nowadays, right? And it's a trend. So even if you don't like wearing baggy clothes, you might kind of wear it because it's the easiest thing to wear. See, I wear baggy clothes, I wear baggy pants, right? Because I genuinely love wearing baggy pants. Like you'll always see me wearing baggy pants every time I'm outside. But the truth is that if you don't like wearing baggy pants and you're still wearing them, you're trying to fit in. And now honesty is on a different scale, right? If you go out with your friends, right, and you're sitting down, and you're talking, and someone asks you, like, do you like me? Like, how do you like me as a person? And you don't find them very interesting. Right? If you don't find them very interesting, you shouldn't lie to them and say, okay, you're an awesome person, I love you. You should be honest. See, like right now, like we just met, right? So I don't really find you that interesting right now. And it's gonna be like really offensive. You think it's gonna sound very offensive, but the truth is that the true good friends, right, the friends that are worth keeping, they'll actually appreciate that version of you more than if you lied and said, okay, man, you're awesome, bro. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. Instead, if you like call them out on it, like, bro, holy shit, bro, you eat like so much junk food, man. Like, what's up with that? A true G would appreciate that, right? And I sound crazy right now that this guy is gonna turn me against my friends. But be honest, bro. Be honest about how you feel about people. Very important. Be honest in your intentions. Don't be transactional, stuff like that. Now, the last step, this is by far gonna get you the most respect, right? The most respect is to not be afraid to leave the friend group, right? Because if you're afraid to leave a friend group, right? If you're afraid to lose these people, and I know it sounds very manipulative and sounds very toxic, but the truth is that if you're afraid to leave someone, you're going to be desperate, and if you're desperate, you're going to be licking their shoes. However, if you're not afraid to leave the friend group, like, okay, I don't really care, bro. Like, if he's being too much of a pain, I'll just leave the friend group. I don't mind. I'm trying to have fun with these people. If they're going to be like a pain in the neck, I don't really care. If you have that kind of attitude, right, of course they're going to respect you because they know that you're important, you're valuable, right? Because they just can't get you like this, right? If you're that easy to get, then they wouldn't have to respect you. They could just like keep you as a side piece so that the group looks bigger. But if you're like, okay, I don't care, man, like I can walk out right now and I won't mind, then they're like, oh, like, I can't. It's probably harder to get him back into my friend group again. He's a valuable person, right? So I must, keep him. It sounds like very shallow, but it is quite the thought process, right? Because people won't actually think stuff like this, but in the subconscious mind, it will be very much prominent, right? It'll come off as prominent. And how do you make this look? How do you say that I'm not afraid to leave the friend group? Is that one, you could be honest about it. If you have a fight, you could be like, bro, I'm not afraid to leave this friend group. Or you could stop going to like these friend group meetups, or you could stop meeting up these people so often, right? If you don't actually want to meet up with them. Because if you force yourself to go meet these people and you actually didn't want to, your presence is gonna tell them, okay, he doesn't want to be here. Like he just came here because he's desperate for some attention. So these are these 3 steps, right? Don't try to fit in. Be honest, and don't be afraid to leave the friend group. Stay smiling, stay happy.